we've now figured out what business analysis is at a high level and why it's important. Let's now take a look at some real problems that it addresses and some of the solutions that might make sense for that business. I think we have time for about 3 or so. Okay, first example is pretty straightforward and pretty common. Let's say we have a company, call it XYZ, which is losing customers due to poor customer service. In this case, a business analyst might start to understand the problem by talking with customers that have left the company to gather their feedback, or perhaps by interviewing members of the customer service team to see what their perception of the problem is. Once gathering that information and getting a solid understanding of the need, they might recommend that the company invest more in training its customer service staff, or that an online customer service portal be created, or even that an individual be assigned within the company to serve as a customer advocate. Another example, and we can just stick with XYZ company, is that they might not be growing fast enough because they don't have an online presence, perhaps. Here we have a very specific need. The business analyst could interview many stakeholders, both inside and outside of XYZ, to understand what this portal needs to be. They might ask what features it needs to have, or how those features need to work, or what brand impression the portal needs to provide, etc., etc. This is, again, a very specific situation, and it's probably one of the more common in practice today. We already kind of know what people envision the solution to be, right? Developing a web portal to meet the needs of its customers. But sometimes the result of the analysis will indicate that there are even better solutions to the company's problems. And that's what that second bullet point here represents. Maybe there's a better solution not yet considered. It's always the job of the business analyst to make sure that the best possible solutions are being brought to light. Another case, and let's use an example from government. There are a lot of business analysts working in government today because governments, believe it or not, have just as many problems as companies. Let's say a government department's budget has been reduced, and there isn't any appetite to reduce the services provided by the government to its citizens. This is generally called an efficiency problem because the organization needs to work more efficiently. In this scenario, the BA might interview stakeholders and then take a good look at how that department works and look for ways to cut costs without reducing the output of the department. After understanding the needs of the department, she might recommend the automation of certain tasks. Or she might recommend that processes be simplified so that more work can be done in less time. These are just some of the sample problems that analysis addresses, and you'll get many more examples as the course progresses. Now let's take a look at requirements.